Hi there and welcome back. As promised in my last video, I've dived into the Ork Codex to look at all the cool stratagems, warlord traits and relics that are contained therein, and I have come up with my top 5 cool combos that I'm going to go through with you today of the things that I think that you can use the Ork Codex to do some fairly funky stuff. So without further ado, let's dive straight in. The first cool combo I've come up with, I call this the Distraction Megadread. So basically, you all know what a Megadread is. You can get it from the Forge World Index. I'll show you how mine works in just a minute, but the strategy on this is take yourself a Megadread and then you use the teleport stratagem, and then once you've successfully teleported it behind your opponent's lines, you use the ramming speed stratagem, and I'll show you how that works in just a moment. The idea behind this is, once you've got him behind your opponent's line, ramming speed lets you roll 3d6 for your charge, and you get an extra d6 just for the death thread in general. Add them all together, you should get the charge in, and then when you do strike your opponent, you get d3 impact hits as well, even before the Megadread starts rampaging through stuff. This should seriously distract your opponent, take his eyes off what's going on your main advance, so that by the time that he's finished dealing with this thing that's rampaging and stomping through his lines, the rest of your Ork army is nicely up in his face and ready to crump him. Okay, so, teleporter stratagem, get my Megadread, set him up, just over 9 inches away from these two units. There he is. Next, the ramming speed stratagem. That means I get, including his extra dice, 4d6 inch charge. I should hopefully make a 9-inch charge. So 4d6. That gives me a grand total of, I've got to pick best 3, let's ditch the 2, 9, 10, 11, a 12-inch charge. More than enough to get both units, and the extra bonus of the ramming speed stratagem. On a 2-up, one of these units takes d3 mortal wounds. That was a 3, so it's definitely gone through. d3 mortal wounds. That's a 3, so that's 2 mortal wounds. That's a Space Marine dead, even before the Megadread gets his claws going. Second cool combo, I call this one Big, Stompy and Piratical. For this one, you're going to want to use a Lord of War detachment, and it's important that you take 3 Lords of War as a detachment in order to get access to the clan rules. What we're then going to do is take 2 Stompers and a Morkanaut with a custom force field. Stompers have come down in cost now, such that you can easily fit 2 of them in 1750. What we're going to want to do is use the Freebooters clan rules. As I mentioned in my last video, there is nothing at the moment that says that the bonus you get for destroying a unit with Freebooters doesn't stack. So, what you do is, you've got the custom force field on the Morkanaut protecting the 2 Stompers. As long as they're within 6 inches of the Morkanaut, they'll get a 6-up invulnerable save, regardless whether it's from shooting or combat. Then you use the Morkanaut to shoot first. Hopefully you kill 1 unit. You target something simple on your opponent's side. You kill 1 unit with its shooting, and that means that the first Stomper you fire is now hitting on 4s with all its shooting attacks. As long as you kill at least 1 more unit with your first Stomper, your second Stomper is now suddenly shooting all that lovely orky shooting, hitting on 3s. Right, so standing in for a Morkanaut in this is my Gorkanaut, since I don't have a Morkanaut yet. Fire him first. We're going to fire him at these intercessors. He gets 3d3 shots for the custom Mega Zapper. So that is a 6, that's 3, and then a 3 and a 4, that's 2 2s, so that's 3, 5, 7 shots. Seven shots, hitting on 5s. That is 2 5s and 2 6s. 6s don't give it extra shots anymore, but that's still 4 hits. So these cause 3 wounds. Well, these called d6 wounds. Strength 8, so we're needing 2s to wound. All 4 wounded. d6 wounds each. One of them's a 1, but the other ones are 2 6s and a 4, so that is 3 dead intercessors and 1-on-1 wound. Next, we'll shoot the custom Mega Blast at him. That's d3 shots. 2 shots. So again, hitting on 5s. 2 5s, so that's 2 hits. Again, strength 8, so needing 2s. Both wounded.
D6 wounds. That Morkanaut has successfully killed the Intercessor squad. Now, as I said, the cool thing is, the Stomper now is hitting on 4s. He's got a heck of a lot more guns to shoot at this tactical squad, so let's just start off by shooting his Super Gatler. That's 24 shots. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. I'm still going. 21, 24 shots. All of these hitting on 4s, thanks to the show-offs rule from the Freebooters clan. So that means that now, if it had just been hitting on 5s, I would have gotten 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hits, but instead 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15 hits. Strength 7, so wounding on 3s. That's a lot of wounds. And at -2, the Marines
there was a 2 in there.
I'll take the 2 out, thank you. Always be honest with your opponent. Marines are saving on 5s. Oh dear, poor Marines. They only saved 4 of them. So that's 5 wounds just from the first gun. It's only damage 1. Only damage 1. So that's only going to be 2 dead Marines and 1-on-1 wound. But now let's shoot the big gun. So, the Death Cannon, 3d6. It's a squad of 10, so it's automatically getting at least 3 on each of these. In actual fact, though, 12, 2 6s and a 5, that is 17. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 17. Again, hitting on 4s, thanks to the show-offs rule. Ah! Dice on the floor. Thank you. Quite a few 1s and 3s in there. Let's take those out. But strength 10, 2s to kill. Oh no, 2 1s.
I think that still leaves quite a lot of dice.
8, each one causing d6 wounds. So those 2 1s only kill 1 Marine between them. But everybody else, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more Marines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's still got more guns!
There's 1 dude standing.
1 dude left. Let's hit him with some super rockets. D6 shots. The squad started out at 10, so it automatically counts as at least a 3. But in fact it's 6 shots. 2, 4, 6. Hitting on 4s. Just the 1. Can it be enough to finish him off? Strength 8, he needs a 2. It wounds. Does it get 2 up to kill him? Yes. Now, as I say, this is just an example, but this is just to show that if we have another Stomper in here, the next Stomper is now hitting on 3s. You've got a Stomper that's shooting like a Space Marine. The third cool combo I've come up with. I talked before about the awesome characters that you can come up with in the new Ork Codex, and yeah, Hero Hammer is definitely back in this. Ork Warbosses are absolute brutes, especially with some of the cool combinations of relics and stratagems and warlord traits that you can come up with. This is one of my favourites. I'm looking forward to trying out. I call this the Night Slayer, and I reckon that successfully carried out, this can kill an Imperial Knight from charge in 1 round of combat without the Imperial Knight even getting to hit back. What you want to do is you want to take a Beast Snagger, Beast Boss on Squigosaur. Then what we're going to do is we're going to give him the Ed Whopper's Kill Chopper relic, and we're going to give him the Big Killer Boss Warlord trait. That complements his already fairly potent Beast Snagger rules for killing and wounding monsters, but we're going to boost it further. Once we get our Beast Killer Boss into combat with the Imperial Knight, we're going to use the Bigger Day Is stratagem, and we're going to follow it up by leading him behind with a Whir Boy, so we can use one of the new Beast Snagger stratagems, the Spirit of Gork. What this will do is it'll give us bonuses to our damage, it'll give us bonuses to hit it, to wound it, and I reckon that, put all together, as I say,
This guy can completely murder an Imperial Knight in one round of combat from the point he charges, and then happily romp on to go find the next one to bring down.
The Beast Boss on Squigosaur model isn't out yet, but I have found a suitable proxy, and at least it's green. First thing we're going to do here is we're going to try and kill this knight in one round of combat using this Beast Boss. I've got a Warboss standing nearby. Again, the model's not out, so my weird boy is standing in. And he's going to try and cast Spirit of Gork on this Beast Boss. Yep, the Squigosaurus. To make it much more killy. Casts on a 6. Casts on an 8. Spirit of Gork in place. Now, Beast Boss gets 5 attacks. These hit the knight on 2s. Oh look, all of those hit. We've given him Ed Whopper's Kill Chopper, which means he's strength 12, which means he would be wounding the knight on 3s. But we're going to use Da Bigger Day Is to make him even more killy. And his Big Killer Beast Boss name gives him an extra couple of attacks. Which, oh, one of them missed. Outrageous. He is a Warboss, which means he can, in fact, give himself +1 to hit, which means that one is, in fact, a hit. So, he's wounding the knight on 2s. 2 1s in there, but that still means 5 hits. 5 hits, -3. So the knight's 3-up save goes down to a 6-up save. It does, of course, have its 5-up invuln in combat. So 5-up invuln for the knight. Oh, 1 got through, 1 saved, 4 get through. 4 of these are damage 4. That's 16 wounds straight away on the knight. Leaves it with 8. Now, Da Squig. We've used Spirit of Gork on him. That means that the Squig is much, much more deadly. So, Squig gets 3 attacks. And if this is any of these are 6 to wound, it's just straight off mortal wounds. So, first of all, the Squig hits. He hit it on 2s. They all hit. Come on, 6s! No 6s. It does, however, bite at strength 7, so it's going to cause only 1 wound. Oh no, only 3 wounds. This one did not live up to the mathhammer. This one is disproved. The knight would get to fight back and would quite probably smash the Squig Boss. Belly up.
Okay. 4th cool combo, the penultimate cool combo. We looked at how a Beast Boss fares, but let's look at my generic Goff or Warboss. Let's see how he fares compared to the Beast Killer Boss on Squigosaur. Again, we're going to run him as Goffs. This time we're going to use that nice old staple relic that's carried over from the previous codex, Da Killer Claw. What you want to give him, though, is Brutal but Cunning as his Warlord trait. And again, we're going to try and get a weird boy near him so that we can get Fists of Gork off in him, just to try and give him some extra attacks. What, again, we should see here is, provided the psychic power goes off, the extra attacks it gives him, the extra benefit that he gets from his Warlord trait, should be enough that if you put him into combat with something like a unit Custodes or an Imperial Knight, once again, from the moment he charges, he should be able to annihilate that entire unit or annihilate that knight in a single round of combat. The main key here is that Brutal but Cunning Warlord trait. This is by far one of the dirtiest Warlord traits in the new book. This doesn't just let you reroll to hit, it lets you reroll to hit, to wound, it lets you make an entire new attack step, in essence, for any attacks that did not successfully inflict damage. So all the attacks that your Warboss makes, if you failed to hit with some of them, if you failed to wound with some of them, or if your opponent saved them, you still get to make a second round of attacks for every one that didn't inflict damage. I reckon this can kill pretty much anything it hits.
Let's see if my Warboss can do any better then. First thing he needs is his weird boy to cast Fists of Gork on him. This casts on a 6. Fists of Gork, that's gone off on an 11. So that's going to give him +3 strength and +3 attacks. So he would normally have 5 attacks. He gets an extra 3. So again, hitting on 2s with a +1 means even 1s are going to be a hit on these guys. So, oh look, all of his attacks hit. We've given him the brutal but cunning and the killer claw. Strength 6 normally, +3 puts him at strength 9, which means doubled by the claw. He is on strength 18. He is wounding these guys on 2s. That's still 3 1s. Take those out for the moment. So, -4 AP. They're having to rely on their 4-up invuns. First 4-up invun, passed. Second 4-up invun, passed. Failed. 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 That's 3 failed invuns. We'll just put these 2 to one side for the minute. 3 damage each is more than enough to snip 3 of those dead. Remember, I put these to one side for the moment. Brutal but cunning means that these that didn't wound or hit get to attack again. So again, hit on 2s, all hit, wounding on 2s, 1 fell this time. Now the storm shields are dead, so that's 5 up saves for the remaining 2. They passed 3, 1 left alive. That's unfortunate. So 1 left alive. I think that's just down to a very lucky dice roll for the Custodes.
The 5th and top cool combo that I've come up with from the Ork Warlord, from the Ork Codex then, is, I call this the Area Denial Killrig. For those of you who don't know, the Killrig is a new unit that we got for the Beast Snaggers in the new Ork Codex, and it's pretty dirty in and of itself. It's got guns, it can transport boys, it's got big whirling saw blades on the side, and it's got a Warboss mounted on the back so it can blast psychic powers everywhere as it thunders across the board. It's got a giant angry squig mounted at the front, hauling it, ready to chew down and stomp on anything. What you're going to want to do with this is you're going to want to run it using the Evil Sons clan keyword. This will give you some extra movement, but it also gives you access to their specialist clan relic. We don't want the Killrig to be our Warboss. It can be a Warboss for your army, for your warlord, sorry, for your army, because it is a character. But what we want to do is use the extra gubbins stratagem, so we can get some extra relics for our army. Then we give it Res Mecha's Redder armor. This is cool because it gives you some extra movement, so that altogether you're getting about 15 inches of basic movement on your Killrig. But what makes it really cool is any units that it is in combat with will strike last. Even if it's your opponent's turn, it doesn't matter. You charge in with this thing on, you collide with as many units as you can, which given the large footprint that this model should have, given its size, means you can probably get a multi-charge on several units. And you tie those units up so that they are slowed down and cannot strike back until everything else in your army has got their attacks in. Once that's in combat, you follow it up with a Warboss, so you can make sure you get the charge off using the War. You follow it up with knobs on bikes, truck boys, and of course my personal new favourite, the Squighog Riders. But I reckon that will allow you to rampage straight into your opponent first turn, slow them down, and then just stomp on everything in their army with every boys unit you've got. Again, the Killrig is not released yet, so I'm having to use a proxy, but I found another green one. Like I said, we're going to use the Evil Sons clan rule, which means it's already completed a 15-inch move from its deployment zone, even before we do anything else. We'll give it an advance roll. That means it's getting +1 on this, so that's a 6-inch advance. And then, because we followed it in with my Warboss, he declares, War! 2d6-inch charge, a 7-inch charge. That's enough to get at least a couple of units. And we wanted to make contact with as many units with the Killrig as possible, because that means that those units are striking last. So when we follow it up with a battle wagon full of boys, and teleport in some mega knobs, and blitz in with a biker bodyguard for our boss, and thunder in with some Squighog boys, everyone here is going to be striking first against the units in contact with the Killrig.
So I'm not going to roll for this now, but you can, if you've ever played a game of Warhammer, I think you can accept that having all of this lot come thundering into your lines and be striking first against you in every round of combat means there aren't going to be that many rounds of combat, because all this stuff's going to be dead very quickly thereafter. So that is my cool combo. That is my top cool combo. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks very much for watching. I'm going to take another look at the Ork Codex to see what else cool I can come up with. If there's any cool combinations that you've come up with, if you've managed to get your hands on the new Ork Codex, please leave a comment down below so we can all have a look at it and have a think and see what we all think. For now, though, thanks very much for watching. Please don't forget to like, click subscribe, to turn on notifications, and I will see you again next time.